Welcome everybody to ChangeNOW. This is the world's largest event for the planet, and my name is Inge Mehus, and I'll be your moderator here in our pitch garden. This is our last pitch session for today, and this one is specifically dedicated for Fintech Challenge for tomorrow. We'll discover 5 amazing changemakers who's going to introduce their innovative solutions for all of us. We have a lot to cover, and only for 45 minutes. We're going to have pitches, Q&A, and then of course I'm going to give you some time in the breakout rooms. In order to introduce the Fintech Challenge, I'm going to hand it over to Kevin Tabalay from ChangeNOW, who's going to give us the first introduction. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of you for being here. I hope you hear me well. It's really a delight to welcome and to host this really exciting challenge, the Fintech Challenge for tomorrow. I think it's a real the fintech topic is really key in order to address the different challenges that we present at ChangeNOW. For you who don't know us, ChangeNOW is as you mentioned, the largest event for the planet. It's the 4th edition this year. We had 3 editions in the past, and it's the first time we do it actually online, virtually. And to be frank with you, it's been quite a challenge. We were hoping to host it physically, and then several months ago we decided to move to a digital version. And I have to be frank with you, it was actually the best decision we took, because so many changemakers from all around the planet joined us since this morning, with more than 150 countries represented in the audience. So it's a really exciting day for everyone, and I'm really glad to see that so many changemakers from around the world joined us in the different events, and I really hope that you had the opportunity to attend some of the panels, some of the sessions, and watch different pitches that were really amazing and inspiring, and I'm pretty sure that the next ones that we're going to hear in a few minutes will be of the same caliber. So I really want to thank you all for being with us. You are the people that are really, making a change and helping change the game, and this is for you that we're making this summit, and everything we can do to support you along the way, you can count on us for that. So, handing the floor to you, Philippe. I think you have plenty of things to share with us, and again, so happy, so delighted to be partnering on this really inspiring event, and best of luck to you all.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for welcoming this challenge. So it's a real pleasure and an honor to be here tonight at ChangeNOW to kick off this 4th edition of the Challenge Fintech for Tomorrow, hosted by Finance for Tomorrow. And it's also a great opportunity for me to share my vision on the importance of technologies and innovations for advancing sustainable finance. As Chief Investment Officer of Aviva France, I'm really convinced that it is no more possible to make good investment decisions without taking into account extra financial consideration, such as the impact of companies on climate change or biodiversity, how they treat their employees, including parity and diversity, how decisions are taken at the top management. And at Aviva, we have been working hard so as every investment decision may influence positively the future of our economy, or at least avoid doing harm. It's not an easy task, but I really think that it can make a difference. So today at this fantastic ChangeNOW event, much of the debates and discussion have pointed out that the fact that we have no other solutions than to transform ourselves, the way we make business, the way we consume, as we face incredible social and environmental challenges. My strong belief is that finance can be a powerful leverage for the transformation we urgently need. The good news is that I see more and more of my colleagues sharing the view that sustainable finance can make a difference to transform our business models and being more impactful on the society and the planet. But how can we do that? As an investor, I have the chance to regularly discover new projects, meet terrific entrepreneurs. All their ideas and projects make me optimistic that we can collectively address our challenges in a positive way. Let me give some concrete examples. At Aviva, many of you know, with La Fabrique Aviva and our 2 impact funds, Aviva Impact Investing France and Alliance for Impact, fully dedicated to young entrepreneurs, we have been financing and supporting a great variety of impact businesses. And thinking that we can invest in their ideas, support their growth, and have a positive impact on the economy really makes me proud. With Finance for Tomorrow, the focus is put directly on the financial industry itself. And with the challenge Fintech for Tomorrow, supported by ADEME, the French Transition Agency, and Climate Kick, the objective is to support innovative projects that could transform the practices of the financial sectors. To achieve that, the challenge aims to mobilize the French actors of innovation in finance in order to create new opportunities for entrepreneurs in sustainable finance. Over the last years, we have been receiving more and more applications. End of 2020, we end up with around 10 finalists to which the challenge offers visibility and support. Indeed, the French laureate of the challenge benefit from an incubation program for a full year. And one of the laureates I'm particularly proud of is Insure Speak Out Underwriting. Thanks to their incubation program by the SWEV in Paris, they were able to raise funds and hire more than 20 people over the last 3 years. I really find the project amazing because they use satellite data to propose new models for parametric insurance and better integrate climate change issues in the insurance sectors. Today, you are going to meet the French laureate of last year's edition, Equitree, which could help you invest directly to local forest management, as well as international laureate Grenomi, which provide digital reporting solution. I will let you discover the project, but I want to highlight the international dimension of the challenge. The financial industry is international and sustainable solutions are global. This prize has really been designed to attract innovators in Paris because we want to show them that there is an international market for their products. To finish, I would like to disclose the thematic of the fourth edition of the challenge. For 2021, the focus is on fintechs providing solutions that can put finance at the service for sustainable transition. To illustrate the theme, we will look for projects that can harness digitalization in order to provide better data about sustainability, or projects that can offer greater transparency to track financial flows, or that can connect satellites and clean tech to financial incentives. It can also be projects that give citizens the means to take informed decisions about their investment strategies. I will now leave the floor to the pitch session. You will meet 5 fintech entrepreneurs discovered in the previous edition of the challenge. I really hope that you will appreciate the project. I thank you for your attention.
Beautiful. Thank you, Philippe, and thank you, Kevin, for that really beautiful introduction. We're about to hear these fantastic solutions in a moment, but let's first hear from the jury. I'm going to give 30 seconds to each jury member to briefly introduce themselves. And let's start with Valentine Baudouin. Valentine, the floor is yours.
Yes, hi, so my name is Valentine Baudouin. I'm a partner at Founders Future, especially in the fintech area, and we are managing 2 funds, one that is focused on tech and digital, and also one that is focused on impact and with the aim to reconcile impact and business.
Thank you. And then we're going to go to Jorge Martinez Arroyo. Jorge.
Oh, hi. I'm formally launching Panoramics Venture, which is a venture capital that invests in human tech, any technology that helps humans to really use technology to have a better life. And I'm also a former head of strategy and transformation in Banco Santander.
Thank you, Jorge. And then we're going to go to Vincent Champereau.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vincent. I work for the corporate venture capital fund of Malakoff Vinnies, one of the main health and life insurer here in France.
Thank you. And we'll head over to Felipe Portela.
Hello everyone, happy to be here. So Felipe Portela, talking from Portugal, managing a couple of funds, Business Angel and Venture Capital, and we are investing pre-seed impact investment tickets in companies based across Europe. Thanks.
Thank you, Philippe. And then over to Anne-Claire Vieux.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm a business angel at the INSEAD Alumni Business Angel Club, and also founder at the Founder Institute. And if you feel ready to raise funds, please apply and submit your application on the platform Gus, and we'll have a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Claire. And finally, briefly back to Philippe Taffin. Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, so Philippe Taffin, I'm the Chief Investment Officer in Avila, France, and the President of the jury of Challenge for Fintech for Tomorrow, Challenge the Fintech for Tomorrow. Sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Philippe. All right, then let's start with our pitches and hear these inspiring solutions. We're going to start with Eduardo Bertin from Clemency. Eduardo, over to you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me today. So I'm the head of partnership and marketing at Clemency. Then we are a social business. So that means that we're a company 100% focused on solving social and environmental issues, and basically. So we think that organizations can play a key role to tackle climate change. So we know that consumers are changing behaviors. We know that regulation is changing. We know that all of these and also like investors are changing their KPIs. All of this is putting pressure to corporations to invest and to innovate towards global carbon neutrality. And if we think about the global carbon neutrality or net zero emissions, we have to think about 3 steps. The first one is that as a company or as a fund, we have to measure the carbon footprint, then we have to reduce it, and then we have to contribute to carbon reduction projects. And basically, we cannot reach global carbon neutrality without one of these 3 steps. All of 3 are mandatory. So what Clemency does is that we particularly work on the final step, and we digitalize all the contribution process to carbon reduction projects. And so we launched a climate action platform where investors, corporations can identify carbon reduction projects. They can support this project. We manage all the process, and we use the carbon offsetting mechanism to do that. So carbon credits. And basically, this is considered one of the most important mechanisms for the future. Will be discussed during COP26 on the Article 6. And we think that our solution increases transparency, traceability, and it is scalable. To give you an example about our portfolio, so we didn't only created digital solution, but we also personally identify selected projects. So we have a 35 project portfolio, more than 24 countries. We cover 7 project typology, so all natural-based solutions, but also renewables, waste management, and so on, and mostly in developing countries. So the idea is to make sure we can scale up climate action there, and then but we can do it on a transparent way. Just to give you an example about project, like for example, this is peatland conservation project, and all our projects either capture or reduce, avoid CO2, and they also have a strong impact linked to biodiversity and sustainable development goals. And today we have a global network of partners and contributors, and our idea is to become the reference solution for positive environmental social impacts. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Eduardo. All right, we're going to head over to Thomas Canguilhem from Equitree. Thomas, I'm going to give the floor to you.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Thomas, and I'm one of the co-founders of Equitree. I can't control my slides, so I'll say next whenever you can change to the next one. So next is a good way to start. Here we go. So Equitree is a European startup that basically lets anyone, so firms and individuals, turn their good environmental intentions into very tangible action by making tree planting. Not just a feel-good donation, but an actual financially rewarding investment. It all started a couple of years back when it became clear for us that trees and healthy forests were actually our best allies in the fight against climate change. So we knew we needed more trees, more forests, but the big question was, how are we actually going to make that happen? I mean, at a scale that would have a significant real game-changing impact for this environmental crisis we're facing. Next one. So that's when we came with a simple but groundbreaking idea, which was to use the largely proven method of financial incentive to get everyone engaged in planting more trees and in growing more sustainable forests. Next, please. We actually got inspired by the Scandinavian return system for used cans and bottles, for those who know that, which basically monetizes really smartly the act of recycling. And we decided to apply it to tree planting, because it became clear that instead of scaring, taxing, shaming those who are not environmental friendly, we would have a much bigger impact by actually rewarding financially the virtuous ones. So we basically decided to turn punitive ecology into positive ecology using financial incentive, because that was the best chance to get everyone on board and basically to make a change now, right? Next, please. So we built a simple model from there. In a few clicks and for as low as 15 euros, anyone, again, firms or individuals, can buy newly planted trees from our forests in Europe and become what we call a tree owner. From there, we at Equitree, of course, take care of the planting of those trees, and we make sure that they will grow into healthy, durable carbon sinks and diverse forestry ecosystems. And once your tree have reached maturity in 40, 50, 60 years, and we cut them as part of our careful selective forestry plan, well, you as the owner become 100% of the revenue generated by the sale of the timber. So the financial gain is around 2% yearly on average. So you will ultimately more than double your initial investment, which is a decent financial reward for doing the planet a favor, right? So we've managed to convince more than 55,000 individuals and 1,500 companies to plant over 1 million trees with us in Europe, and we now look forward to new markets and further regions of the world with our model. Thank you very much. I can see the time is out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for that wonderful presentation. And we're going to head over to Alexander Stevens from Green Army. Let me say that correctly.
Hello, everyone. So I can't control my slides either, so I'll say next, if you could please move ahead. Thank you. I'm Alex, CEO of Green Army. We are a green regtech based in Brussels. Next, please. So what we're really asking ourselves is, how can we accelerate the transition of the EU economy towards a more greener economy? Next, please. Now, we noticed that sustainable funding has been booming in the past few years, and similarly, sustainable finance legislation, there's more and more disclosure requirements. Next, please. Hello?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, thank you. Now, in the European Union, new legislation such as the EU Taxonomy and FRD, SFDR, are requiring companies and financial institutions starting from January 2022 to report and publish their sustainability levels. Next, please. The key challenges are getting accustomed to this new framework, preparing your report, the fact that there's not enough human expertise to do this assessment, that time is running out. In 6 months, companies and banks will have to do this, publish their first reports. They need to update their IT infrastructures, and it's a huge compliance cost estimated at 2.1 billion euros over the next 5 years. Next, please. Now, what we've done at Green Army is that we've codified all this legislation, these thousands of pages, into multiple portals for all stakeholders, making this accessible by large and small players. A company portal helps companies generate a report, The auditor portal helps assurance providers to certify it directly online, and then investors and lenders can screen their portfolios and loan books, collect all the data from all their investees and customers. And then finally, an API helps share this information, this data, with any stakeholder that would need it. Next, please. Going beyond reporting and compliance, our goal really is to help companies understand what is the gap between what they reported and what are the targets set by the European Commission. How do they compare with other peers in the same sector? And how with data analytics we can provide them with best practices and recommendations to improve their sustainability level over time. The goal is that by 2050, we can push all economic activities to become fully carbon neutral and reach all those targets. And when they go to investors and lenders, they can justify what are they going to implement in terms of sustainability improvements and how they can finance it. Thank you very much. If you're interested in a demo, please come on our website, greenomy.io. And we're also looking forward to partner with any other players in the ecosystem. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Alexander. And we're going to head over to Kamel Naid Otaleb from Oko Finance. Kamel, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I can't control, so I will ask you to pass the slide, please. Thank you for being here today. So I'm the CEO and the founders of OnlyOne, which is positive banking app and card leveraging model for goods. Next slide, please. Our vision is that the bank today, we offer, an ethical and competitive banking services, which allow to manage your money simply, turn your good into everyday actions, and saving money directed on sustainable world. Next slide, please. Our vision that the banks must play a leading role in the fight against climate change, but the last report of NGO say that with the investment bank conduce us to a global warming of plus 4 degrees. The second vision, next slide please, sorry. It's that we have in the banking landscape today only 2 ethical banks, and there is a lack of transparency in terms of fees of product that propose the bank for the individuals. They continue to take fees for the vulnerable people. So the next please, sorry. So they still use old methods to operate. They have difficulties to change and to adapt their proposition with the social environmental challenge we have to face today. Next slide, please. So that's why we are creating OnlyOne, to reconcile banking or ethics in only one application. So we think that we have only one planet, so we have to protect it. Next, please. So we are building the future and the first ethical neobank. So we are building brick by brick a new model of banking, user-centric with in-house innovative technology and ethical and sustainable by design. The next, please. So we combine a state-of-art of digital banking app with a unique ethical and eco-conscious approach that's allowed to manage money simply with the all latest banking features such as real-time notification, manage your card into the app directly, and we have a payment card that's allowed to fund projects such as the protection of biodiversity or social projects such as with the United Nations to fight against chronic malnutrition. So for each payment you made, you finance some project like that. The next, please. And we have created an eco-coach that can monitor the carbon footprints of each transactions to allow customer to estimate the CO2 emissions due to their consumption and help them to manage this consumption, to give them some advice, to give them some challenge and recommend other products or other way of consumption. The last one, please. and we have created a Plus Impact. This is a marketplace that's offering some products of partners to save money, to invest, to insure, and also some daily product that you can find, such as energy, such as insurance, and so on. So we have also in the platform. I'm very happy to see them today. Vinnies, for example, to invest in another way.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kamel, for that presentation. We're going to head over to our final picture, Sylvain Perron for Vinnies. Sylvain, over to you.
Hello, good morning everyone, and thank you, Kamel, for the nice transition. I cannot control my slides, so I will say next, so we can do it now next. So I'm Sylvain, the CEO of Vinnies, which is a French platform that allows local authorities to borrow money directly from their citizens to fund their public services project. Hence, they can combine traditional borrowing with this new citizen funding to profit on one side from the financial performance of the bank offers, and on the other side from the extra financial benefits of borrowing directly from their citizen. As an example, a city needs to borrow, for example, 600,000 euros to build bike lanes in the city center. It can borrow 400,000 euros from the bank and 200,000 euros from its citizen. This new kind of funding will allow them to strengthen the ecosystem and create a new link by involving citizens from the start of the project. It also allows them to gain exposure locally and nationally, and thus easily promote their actions. It is also an universal solution, as they can combine it with traditional borrowing, hence they can fund every type of project with this solution, and citizens can invest from €1. And to finish, this responds to a growing demand from citizens to have the means to invest their money directly in projects that make sense. So for the citizen, the investors, the first benefit is that they can directly invest their money in meaningful projects they choose. To do so, Vinnies helps them by developing extra financial indicators, and therefore they become direct actors of their savings. Furthermore, it is a low-risk investment, as the quality of the counterparty, the local authorities, is very similar to the one of the French state. And finally, by lending money to the local authorities, they contribute to the development of their own territory. A few words about the market. It's very deep, as the French local authorities borrow every year more than 15 billion euros, so they are a big player in the sustainable investment landscape. And regarding the business model, Vinnies only take low fees on the amount of money raised. Regarding the development of the company, it was created in the middle of last year, and we are now finalizing the first contract with the city. And we have ongoing discussion with every level of French local authorities up to the regional states. And the last word for the team, there is 3 other co-founders, and Sophie, Arthur, and Kanta, which allow us to cover all the competencies needed to conduct this project, from the IT development to the public law. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Sylvain, and all of your wonderful pictures. We're now having about something like 8 minutes time for Q&As. I'm going to hand it over to the jury members to see if anybody has some burning questions. Who would like to start?
I can start by saying thank you all for your presentations. It was a pleasure being here. And I do have a pressing question for Equitree. If you can please talk a bit more about your unit economics.
About what, sorry?
Unit economics. So,
you mean the economics behind the business model? Or...
Yes, if you can take it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, when I mentioned the entry price, so to speak, of per tree of $15 or €15, basically, it starts from there. in this amount, what you get for this amount is basically, well, 30% goes as our gross margin because we are running it as a profitable business. But then 30% roughly goes also into the forestry operations, from the land preparation to saplings purchasing and so forth. And 40%, which is a very important point, actually go into the long-term maintenance. So it's kind of put in escrow in compliance with the French authorities, and to secure the long-term financial means for the long-term growth of the forestry ecosystems we're trying to grow. So this is a vital aspect of our model.
Great, thank you. Anybody else who has a question? Vincent, raising his hand.
Yeah, I have a question for Greenomy. I would like to know which kind of companies are targeted by the new law, and is any kind of company will be interested by your platform?
So on one side, it's going to be listed companies with more than 500 employees. That's under the current legislation, but the threshold will be reduced next year to 250 employees. So we're moving from 11,000 companies to 50,000 companies in the European Union. And on the other side, it's financial institutions, banks, funds that will have to screen their loan books and portfolios. Now, we, for example, yesterday we launched our proof of concept with BP France. So as a PE fund, we'll help them screen their portfolio, reach out to other private companies, but also we're doing proof of concepts with other players, listed companies, banks across the European Union. The idea is really that this will expand to all types of companies over time. So financial reporting was now the norm for many years, but sustainability reporting is becoming fully mainstream, and all types of companies, big and small, will have to do it going forward.
All right, thank you. I know that Philip Portela also have a question.
Yes, I do have a question now for Clemency. If you can talk a bit more about how do you, what is your criteria to evaluate the carbon projects? So if it is your own criteria, if you use a partner, how do you do it, and why is it better than your competition in that sense?
Yeah, so basically all projects we select went through a tree selection process. First of all, projects are internationally certified or nationally certified by international national standards like Gold Standard, VCS, Plan Vivo, for example. That's the first step. As a second step, we perform a KYC, know your customer, anti-money laundering analysis, reputation analysis on the project, and anti-terrorism. And then as a third step, we have an internal sustainability committee composed of experts making a double check on all the claims from our projects. And this is to make sure that the projects reply to various standards, and our solution is targeting big corporation investment funds. So we want to make sure about the quality of a project. So it's really strict. We rely on external players for the first phase, and then we do internal due diligence for the second and third step.
Wonderful. I'm going to hand it over to Anne-Claire for one more question.
Okay, so I had a question for OnlyOne. I was wondering how far can you go to monitor the carbon impact on a purchase?
So we have created an algorithm that's conciliates the expense with a database called Bas Carbon from ADEME. So for each transaction, we have main categories such as food, home, shopping, and so on. And so we can reconcile all the expense into a carbon footprint or CO2 emissions.
All right, thank you. And then it's Philippe Tafan. He also had a question.
Yes, thank you. Well, my question is for Sylvain from Vinnies. Yes, I like very much the Vinnies project, which mixes, financing individual financing and public financing. You mentioned that you were negotiating your first contract. I would like that you elaborate a little bit more on the hurdles you meet for structuring this contract, because on the platform it's very key to be as standard as possible. So
selected
I'd like to hear you about that.
ChangeNOW event. With the increasingly important contributions
sorry, can you
of
repeat
solar
the
and
question? Because I have
renewable
a
energy
background
projects,
noise,
it is sometimes easy to forget.
Yes, you did hear the question. So the question was about the difficulty you are now meeting, when you are structuring your first contract. So what are the difficulties you meet today? Because it's very crucial for your business to be as standardized as possible.
Yeah, so the main difficulties is dealing with the public sphere, the public ecosystem, which is completely different from the startup one, speed-wise. So they are much more thorough, and it takes time in the decision process, and it's almost as they are doing due diligence on the platform. So we have to be very aware of all the law surrounding the contracting with public authorities. So this is the main challenge, and then it's going at their speed because they have a different level of validation. But if you are patient enough, it leads to great projects. So.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, this was our last question because time is running out. Luckily, though, there will be these virtual rooms where you all can continue networking, asking more questions. Please follow the link in the chat. And this was the last pitching session of the day. How amazing and inspiring was our first day of the ChangeNOW Summit. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you wonderful change makers, jury members, and all of you tuning in from all around the world. I hope you leave this first day to ChangeNOW Summit just like me, inspired and ready for change now. I wish you all a wonderful day. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.